everyone, it's Laurie from Cook Scrap Craft. Welcome back to the channel. Long time no see, right? So I'm doing a process video today, but I also am combining it with a haul. This is actually stuff that I bought, I guess, last month from scrapbook.com, but I haven't done anything with it because I haven't had time. So I originally bought this stuff because we have these photos that I have right here that were taken at the Carle Museum. So I wanted something that was colorful, that was maybe like in primary colors that sort of reminded me of like children's picture books. And so these are the things that I found. Obviously this Fun Pebbles adhesive patches are so cool with the rainbow, the word smile, a little planter, and some flowers. These shaped dies, I think, were a freebie from when I ordered. So I don't know that I'll use them with this, but it's just something good to have, you know, in my back pocket. I actually need to use dies more often. I guess especially if I ever decide to like start making cards again. But anyway, that was a freebie. So then the rest of it, this is the Little Builder collection from Echo Park Paper. I liked these arrows, and then they also have these. This is the 4x4 cut apart sheet. I will probably not use these. I mean, I could use this for some journaling, or even this one as well, but definitely got it for this paper. This is My Little Boy from Echo Park, so it's got a lot of the primary colors in it that I was looking for. And then this is just, it's a solid yellow, but it's got shooting stars on it. So it could be used as a solid, or it could be used as a pattern. This one is upside down, I think, and it is, oh, other side, here we go. This is from Reminisce, and this is the Time to Play paper that's part of their Kids at Play collection. So this is pretty cool. I'm not totally into the photorealistic pattern papers. I will probably be using this side more just because that's more my style. And then we have some Bella Boulevard School is Cool, and again, some primary colored circles and some school buses, which I won't be using. This is called Bus Ride, so I guess this is actually the A side, and the polka dots are the B side. And then I just have two sheets of yellow cardstock. These are both Basil, and the color for these is Sunbeam. So I have two of these because this is going to end up being a 2-page layout. And this is the sketch I quickly drew from Pinterest. I'll try to have this linked in the description box below so you can see who this originally came from. I really liked the triangle going down in the middle, you know, between. This is not a single page. These are supposed to be 2 pages. So the triangle's in the half, and then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 photos, which I actually have. So it's the exact number of photos. So we'll see how it goes as I work to put this all together. All right, so up in the top corner is the actual sketch that I tried to draw out on the little piece of paper there. And this is from Candace. Now I can't remember her last name. It started with the C, but I'll try to have this pin linked down below. And I'll just leave it up for a little bit so you guys can get a refresher of what it's supposed to look like. I really liked that the triangle going down the center. You know, it's not going to be totally together because I do put my layouts in page protectors, so they're going to look separate in the album. But I still think it gives a nice visual. And it had so many photos on the spread, which is amazing. So what I'm deciding to do, and here's the thing that I don't like. My paper cutter is 12 by 12, but when you're trying to cut on the diagonal of a 12-inch by 12-inch piece of paper, it doesn't fit in the paper trimmer. So I don't know if I should invest in one that's slightly larger. It's so rare that I am cutting on the diagonal of 12 by 12 piece of pattern paper, but you know, my ruler was fine. My ruler and pencil, old school way of doing it, right? And then I just, you know, you got to do it twice because I've got the same pattern on one side that's on the other side. And then I'm just trying to figure out what's going to look good underneath. And so I'm going to use the back side of that circle paper with the stars and then layer them on top. I wish I had something that was a little more, that was not yellow. I mean, it's yellow on yellow there. And I went with that because I didn't want to have 2 busy patterns layered on top of each other, but I didn't really have anything else that was close to a solid that wasn't this yellow. So that's what I ended up going with. No big deal. And then I just, I held up what I had cut previously and used that as the guide to cut along the diagonal of the second piece of pattern paper. And what comes off of the edge there is what you're going to use on the other side. And I don't know why, for some reason, I did have some trouble like figuring out the orientation of how the triangle was supposed to go. It like sometimes I couldn't figure it out, but anyway. So this part's really easy. Once you have the triangles cut, you just have to layer them up onto one side of your cardstock layout and cut off the excess. Easy peasy. And now they're all stacked and put together. So I'm going to continue on with just the left-hand side of the page before I move on to the right-hand side. That's just how I like to do it. But if you wanted to go ahead and start laying down the background of the second page, you could do that as well. So these are photos from the Carle Museum in Massachusetts. These are from 2023. So my 2020, the last month of photos that I have to scrapbook for 2023 are November. So I'm doing those right now. And then I get to move on to 2024. Yay! And I'm hoping that I can get a lot of the November 2023 photos scrapbooked. I made a bunch of page kits to go along with some of the photos that I have using stuff from my stash. I recently found a huge stack of cardstock at a thrift store, as well as a paper pack or a scrapbook kit at the thrift store. And you'll see that in an upcoming process video. So I was like, you know what? I'm feeling good. I feel like I have a lot of like stuff to work with right now. So let's see if I can put all this together and shop my stash before I worry about like, oh my gosh, I need to place another scrapbook.com order. And if you guys know when Paper Issues is coming back, please let me know. I haven't seen anything in their Facebook page, but sometimes Facebook doesn't always give you what you want to see. And so I may have missed something. So if you guys know of anything or hear of anything, please let me know. So the pieces that I picked for this to go along with these sort of primary colors, it kind of looks like it's a patch. It's like a sticky patch. There's a rainbow there, a star. What else did I use? Oh, there's a chipboard butterfly thing, which isn't exactly the primary colors. It's a little bit of a different color scheme, but I did like it because, you know, we're talking about Eric Carle and his classic book, The Very Hungry Caterpillar, and how it turns into a butterfly at the end. So I definitely knew I wanted to be using some butterflies on this layout. Now I'm moving on to the second page. Oh, and I also got to use pieces from a Chamel sticker sheet. So there's one, it's kind of a random sticker sheet. There's the little sticker that says read more books. So I put that up there, and then there's sort of a stack of 4 books lined up together like they're on a bookshelf. So I used that. A little heart sticker, another butterfly, chipboard piece. I'm going to go back and add in the title and a couple other embellishments on that left-hand side. But I did want to move on to the right-hand side so that I could get a feel for where photos and embellishments were going to go there. That way I wasn't using up all the good stuff on the left-hand side. And then you get to the right-hand side and go, oh no, I don't have any more embellishments to use. So this museum, if you haven't been, if you have young children, I would recommend it. I guess my daughter she must have been 7 when we went. And it was one of those things where we had a small break from school. And we wanted to do something. I think we had talked about doing Boston, but it was a little expensive. And my husband was like, oh, we should go to the Basketball Hall of Fame. And I said, oh, isn't the Eric Carle Museum up there as well? And so we ended up doing both. So the basketball photos are still to come. I think I'm going to have to buy some supplies for those. But this Eric Carle Museum had been on my to-do list for a long time. And I was like, we got to go before she gets too old to appreciate it. So she might have actually been a little old. They had like a little library inside with a children's story time, which was very heavily like preschool geared. And they had a couple things that kids could like climb in and play in. They had a little room. It was also like an art gallery as well as Eric Carle's stuff. So there was a lot of like other children's artwork there as well. So there was like a puppet theater within this art room, and it was, I kind of can't remember what else there was. There were some other hands-on things for kids, but it was definitely like for the younger kids. If you live close by and you can go whenever you want, it's also a very like quiet, peaceful place. You could just sit, look at the artwork. They have a big outdoor space with some sculptures in it, and I don't know if it's still an active apple orchard or if it used to be. But you know, you could just kind of take a walk around and just enjoy being in nature and enjoy the art. We will probably never go back because we're not that close to it, and I don't have any more preschool aged kids, but just letting you know what our experience was with it. There's also, it's about the life of Eric Carle. So there is an exhibit that's about his life, and they have the broom that he used to create some of his murals and stuff. They have it on display there. So that's one of the pictures that I took. I've also got a picture of my daughter in a, like, I don't even know what it was supposed to be. It was the Very Hungry Caterpillar, and you could climb and sit in it. And then there's a picture of her in front of the Very Hungry Caterpillar butterfly wings. So obviously I'm going to be using some more butterflies on this side. And I think the butterflies are actually all Paige Evans, Pink Paisley. They were chipboard stickers that I got from Joanne, you know, during the closing thing. So up at the top, I'm using another sticky patch. It says Smile. There's a rainbow from the Chamel sticker sheet and a heart. And then there's another rainbow and butterfly and heart down at the bottom of that side of the page. So now it's time to start doing the title. And I am so pleased with myself that I found 4 different alphas and I was able to create a nice long title. So what it's going to end up being is the Very Hungry Museum. And I'm using, I guess, some Simple Stories mini alphas. They remind me of October Afternoon mini alphas, if anybody remembers those. I also have some other Simple Stories, like square alpha stickers that were from the flea market collection, I believe. And then some big, puffy, glittery American Crafts thickers, alpha thickers. And then I think the blue ones that make up the word museum were from Doodlebug. They're either Bella Boulevard or Doodlebug. Sometimes their alpha stickers look so similar to me, and I can't really remember right now, but doesn't matter. I used 4 different alphas, and I got rid of so many letters from my stash. I'm so happy about that. Of course, what I'm not happy about is that I started putting the alphas down and then realized like they were too low. And so I had to move everything up. Not a total big deal, but some of the, the paper stickers for the words the and very are paper stickers. And so they do sometimes kind of peel up the cardstock underneath, but I was also going to be covering that up again with the American Crafts alpha stickers. So not, whatever. And then let me see if I can figure out what colors I used for my spraying. I did add some spray at the end because I wanted to add just a little bit more color. There's a lot of color, obviously, from the embellishments and the pattern paper, but then there's also a lot of the solid yellow cardstock. And so I just kind of wanted to add a little extra something. We're celebrating children's art and art in general here on this layout, so why not get a little artsy and do some splatters? So the colors, I'm for sure that I used Tim Holtz Distress Oxide spray in Uncharted Mariner. That's the blue that I'm going to use. And then I'm pretty sure I also used Tim Holtz Distress Oxide spray in Scattered Straw. So it's sort of a yellow on yellow, and then you have a few pops of blue going all around on both sides. And then that's pretty much going to be the layout. Oh, you can see there. They are Doodlebug. Those blue ones are Doodlebug. I can see them in the video. Yay. Although unless I'm reading it wrong, let me know in the comments if I've read that wrong and I'm actually telling you it's Doodlebug, but it says Bella Boulevard. I'm sure I got it right. I'm doing the journaling right now, and I'm using my black Zig writer. I really need to get a new one. The thin pen side is running out of ink. So I'm doing the best that I can to print with the black. I should have just used like red or something. I don't know what I was thinking. The other side, which is the marker side, works fine, but it's a little big and it's a little too much to do small journaling. So I need to invest in a new one of those, just something else to put on the list. And then once I finish the journaling, I'm going to do the splatters. I kind of rearranged my desk and forgot where I put the covers for my photos, because I like to cover my photos so I don't get the ink on the photos, and it took me a while to find them when I was doing this. I mean, also, it's been a long time since I've really sat down and scrapbooked with any intensity and longevity, so I've kind of forgotten where things are on my scrap desk, but hopefully I'm going to get back into the swing of things. This is just yet another scrapbook process video for this month, the month of September. So please make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on other process videos that I'm going to be posting this month. Make sure that you're following me on my social media channels. All of those usernames will follow at the end of this video. So I would love to connect with you guys there. And leave me a comment and let me know what your scrappy summer was like. Did you get a lot of work done? Are you finding that the fall is busier for you than the summer and you don't have a lot of time to scrap in during this season? I think it's different for everybody, just depending on what our plans are, what our jobs are, etc. So yeah, I would just love to hear from you down below in the comments. And I thank you so much for watching this video, especially watching it all the way to this point at the end. We're going to have some close-up videos to follow so you can see things in a little more detail. And don't forget to go to the description box below and click on the Pinterest link so you can see the original layout in a larger size in all its glory and get inspired by that scrapbooker. Her name is Candace again, and I know I wrote down her last name somewhere, but I don't have it in front of me. But I thank you to Candace for inspiring this cool triangle layout. So I'll see you guys next time. Happy scrapping.